Now, before we get started, I don't want anybody to think that this video is in defense of Ike Turner, because it's not. He need to be burning with gasoline draws on. Anywho, and this is just my opinion. If you saw the description of the podcast, it says that these are my opinions, and my opinions might piss you off. So with that being said, if you are a diehard Tina Turner fan, click off. And if you're still here, hey girl, anywho, so as you can see by the title of the video, I feel like Tina, they put out the movie and everything, and they always put out her interviews and everything, and they talk about the way that Ike was beating her up and all of the DV and all of that. But if you really truly pay attention to the movie and the interviews and the stories and all that, Tina really kind of got what she deserved. If you've been listening, then in my opinion, in my walk, in my faith, I feel like the law of karma has been put in place for a reason. God does not leave his throne. He talks to us in silence. You have to quiet your spirit down so that you can hear, and also so that you can catch the signs, because that's pretty much, it's going to be signs, thoughts, things of that nature. And so, you take your memory walks when you're going through your dark night of the soul and all of that. And I feel like a lot of people be caught up in trauma loops, and that is what we consider hell. Well, it's hell for some people. Some people, hell is the lake of fire. Some people, it's different for everybody. But the trauma loops that you end up getting caught in is because you did not repent and ask for forgiveness, because you weren't quieting your soul enough to walk your memory walk or whatever you were doing. Because, she did her Buddhist chants and all of that. Whatever you were doing wasn't the path for you to be able to see your own faults and your flaws. Or maybe she got that ass whooped a couple of times too many, and the resentment was preventing her and the rest of the world from seeing that she really kind of, them tables, they turned. Because if you pay attention to in the movie, before she became famous, when she was at that nightclub and Ike discovered her, he was married. And when he had her coming over there to rehearse, he was married. And when she was staying the night at their house, he was married, and the wife was there. So it was a marital home. And the night that he took her V, I'm thinking that that's what happened in the movie. He took her V, or if not, if the first time that they decided to get together and do what grown folks do, they were inside of that marital home, and the wife was in that marital home. Does that sound familiar? Have y'all been following the Brenay and Tim story? When I say history repeats itself, I hope that that's not a future prediction of Brenay getting her little tail whooped on. Lord save her, Jesus. She already getting beat up in the court of public opinion. Don't let that man start to resent her so much that he start putting his hands on her. And if he do, I would like for you, I don't know. I have learned my lesson about blocking other people's karma. I don't want to absorb nobody else's karma. I'm out here trying to be on my own good and upright walk, so that I don't even get my own karma. So I dang sure don't want nobody else's. So whatever happens, happens. But again, as I was saying, because y'all know I will accidentally change the subject in a minute, let me repeat why I feel like she sort of kind of, all those things that happen, the getting beat on, and the, having babies and having to go right back to the stage, and dealing with the cheating with the other women in their marital home. Baby, them tables came and they turned. The tables turned. Now, do I think that it's right for any man to put their hand on a woman? Absolutely not. I think any man that does that is a complete and utter shrimp, lobster, roach, bottom feeder. Bottom feeder. Disgusting. Ew. It's disgusting. But at the same time, when you yoke yourself up with foolishness, you get foolishness. And I know because I've done it. So I feel like I'm well within my rights to speak on it and point it out because I've done it. I've been there. I ain't never got beat up now. That not by a husband or a boyfriend or what? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it can't happen. And let me not say, I'm not saying that it can't happen, because I've noticed that when I say, some shit ain't never happened to me and I ain't never experienced, I end up experiencing it. So I have to cancel that out, because God know. One, and then two, I ain't her. Oh, baby, that man got to go to sleep. That's something I ain't never understood. That man, he got you that scared. When he goes to sleep, he is defenseless, honey. The spiritual realm knows it well about how defenseless human beings are when they go to sleep. That man went to sleep next to you plenty of times after beating you up, and all you did was look at him with a scowl on your face. Baby, the way that water, baby, I'm about to make some spaghetti. You want some? And not the way y'all thinking, honey. The way the all the other ingredients would have never even made it. I would have just boiled the water and pretended like I was putting the noodles in there. Baby, what? That man went to sleep several times, defenseless. And you waited until y'all was in a limo and you ran across a busy street, traffic and cars, putting yourself in even more danger. What? Anywho, that is just my opinion, I just feel like marriage is a covenant between the two people getting married and God. And it's one thing to impede and intercede or mess up or get in between a relationship, something that, but when those two people went before God and made those vows and got themselves into that covenant, they involved God. And you go and you step on something, like, you just might as well slap God in the face. And guess what? He's going to slap you back. That's what marriage is, not something to be played with. I feel like of all the karma you can get, messing with the marriage is the worst of them all. Now, I can speak on that because I know. But let me tell you something. That is a non-negotiable of mine. I don't mess with married men. I'm not going to say I've never messed up a relationship. I'm not going to say I ain't never been the other woman. I'm not going to say that I ain't never, purposely took a man. Back in my day when I was young, and I'm not a kid anymore. And I will talk about that in another episode. We ain't supposed to call them episodes. In another video, because y'all know I can accidentally change the subject. But let me tell you this. I don't mess with married men. But some of these men are so disgusting and so just, Pause. Break real quick. Let me tell y'all how nasty they are. I was watching Shira 7. I know a lot of people don't like her, but she was talking about how they had to make laws to keep men from graping the animals. Come on now. So yeah, some of them are just that. And don't get me wrong, because like I said, this ain't no she-woman man haters club. This is not that. But some of them are that bad to where they will not tell you that they are married. They will not tell you. And back in the day, I used to just believe folks. I really did used to just think that people would just tell the truth. I never expected for people to lie. Now, you can't get over on me like that now. Now I'm all in your background. I'm checking the website. I'm all in your stuff. I'm not going to lie. You will not. Most of the time, I don't even have to check the website anymore. Once but now I'm checking websites. I'm checking up on the stories. I'm going all through everything to make sure. But back then I didn't. And I learned that lesson. And I used to wonder, like, dang, what is going on? It's this one particular one. I ain't going to say his name. But he needs to be beat. He need to be beat. Honey, and I was really liking him too, honey. I was really liking him. I really liked him. And, we crossed home plate a few times. And come to find out, and this was way back in 2017, No, it was 2018, 2019. About 2018, 2019, somewhere up in there. It may have been 2019 when I met him. And I didn't know back then. I just found out this year that back then he was absolutely married. Not only that, he was still messing with his baby mama. He was lying about that. But the crazy thing is, the baby mama wasn't even the one he was married to when me and him was, I ain't gonna say we was together because we wasn't, but when we were talking, let's just, keep it PG. When we were talking, he was married the entire time. And when I say my life shifted so hard after that situation with him, my life shifted, and I could not understand why. I could not understand why. And as I did my little research this week, I really feel like it was somebody that he married so she can get a green card or whatever the reason. But, he was with the baby mama, and that's who because he's still with the baby mama. They ended up getting married years down the line after he just got that dang on divorce from the green card girl. Oh, it's just so messy. The messy things that men will involve you in if you do not do your research. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter that you didn't know. Ignorance of the law does not mean that you don't get the consequence. You might get a lighter consequence. You might, but you don't, that don't mean that ignorance of the law don't mean that you don't get the consequence. So, yeah. Baby, I can talk about it because I've been there. And when I found out this year, immediately cut him off, immediately blocked, immediately repent. Immediately I felt some type of way. Now, don't get me wrong, because some people, they realize that they've done wrong. It messes with their self-esteem, and they start, baby, not me. I repent. I'm sorry, but it ain't too much of nothing that can make me feel less about myself. I am her. I've been her. I will always be her. But now I know, baby, I have repented. And it will not happen again. It will not happen again. And I ain't got nothing to say to him. I don't even care if he don't know, which I feel like he do, because he is extremely spiritual. He's definitely an undercover warlock, and don't nobody know. But I guess he just don't care. And that's why he's at the bottom. Shrimp, lobster, roach at the bottom, baby. That's why. So what am I? I'm not mad at him. I'm not. I'm a Scorpio. Y'all already know. I'm not mad at him, but it's like, I'm not finna help you come up off that bottom either, because I'm not about to block your karma. I'm not about to absorb your karma. I went through my karma, baby. Now you must go through yours. But back to Tina. I feel like, what she went through. Hey. That was them tables turning. Do I feel like Ike was, no, Ike, I hope he on a slow fall to hell with gasoline draws on. But at the same time, I have to dial back that empathy and that sympathy that I was feeling for Tina throughout that whole movie. And I see why Ike's family came out and, called themselves doing all them interviews and stuff, trying to defend him or whatever. Because at the end of the day, she got with that man and did what grown folks do while he was married in their marital home while the wife was present. And it's just so crazy how that is repeating itself right before our eyes as we speak. And maybe it's because nobody ever pointed out the reality of the situation. A lot of people are still under the illusion of it, and that is why it is repeating again. Except for this time, because I don't think Tina got it the way Brenay is getting it now. I don't think she got it the way that everybody was just, oh, Tina, she was done so wrong, and she got, yeah. Tina was wrong. Tina was wrong. Therefore, she was done wrong. And I hope that, how can you say it? I hope that her soul can be redeemed. Anywho, y'all. Let me get off of this thing. They give anybody a mic, don't they? Until next time. Peace.